Welcome! In this module, we will explore the AppResponse user interface and investigate its main characteristics. Let's get started. Logging in to the AppResponse always starts you on the home page. This by default is the All Traffic Insight. We start our user interface tour at the top left with the host name of this AppResponse to ensure you're where you thought you should be, and the status LED just to its left. The status LED alerts if there are any system conditions, such as temperature, disk health, packet drops, and so on, that require attention. The colors follow the standard green is good, yellow is caution, red is uh-oh interpretation. Glancing across the page header, we find the usual suspects: appliance software version, management IP, form factor and model number, date and time, your login account name, and the logout button. And since this information does not change much, you can hide the header to maximize viewing area by clicking the little toggle header button at the far right of the black menu bar. Over to the far right of the page name is the time control bar found at the top of just about every data page. Default behavior is for AppResponse to present every page and info panel, or widget, for the last hour. You can, of course, specify a particular time frame, and that time frame would remain until you change it, or select Auto Update, which itself can be adjusted via its dropdown. Intuitive one-click access to the last 15 minutes, 1 hour, 1 day, week, and month, and you can specify a particular time range of interest. To include, you may want to constrain yourself to work week. Now, these are user configurable business hours, which provide a means to enable policies for one or more specific time ranges and to specify business-related time intervals for insights and the Navigator. You'd note that these one-click accesses adjust the entire page below. Other useful features of the user interface: selecting a given time window in the total throughput will extend that down into the top tabs below. You can remove it quite simply with a small X. And of course, selecting a given application will be reflected on the user response time on the right. Same with server IPs. Selecting another server IP would then, of course, change the chart on the right. Now you can manipulate and tailor the displayed data, starting with the summary panel. As an example, let's say connection requests has caught your eye. Simply clicking that metric pivots every other panel of the page to that metric, providing many perspectives on how this metric has been seen on the network. You can select other metrics to pivot to, and you can return to the defaults by reloading the page. Returning to the left side of the page, we find the page name, all traffic in this case, and right next to it, a page help button cleverly disguised as a circled question mark, which, when clicked, opens another window directly to the user guide page describing the page you clicked from. It is immediate contextual help in understanding more about the settings and fields of the page you are on. A seriously handy feature, the big white field next to the toggle header button is aptly titled Global Search. Simply enter search terms for items of interest. Could be URLs, IP addresses, named ports or applications. In this case, I'm going to search for an IP address. It will immediately provide for me what it knows about that IP, in this case, just its DNS name, and I hit enter. Now, because it's a global search, it says, well, there are different aspects you may be interested in. So what it provides for me is it'll identify this IP address as part of the San Francisco office host group. So I can choose to either head straight to the favorites of the host group or for insights. In this case, I'd like a nice overview. So I'm going to go to Insights Host Groups. And from here, I could delve further into whatever aspects of that IP address and or the host group in general I was interested in. On to Insights, which of course can be navigated to from the menu bar. What's displayed under the menu here are all the pre-configured insights, as well as the last 10 which have been accessed. And if it's not on that list, you can find them under Launch Manage, a list of all insights available. On the far right, you'll notice Owner. This is an indication that this is a created insight. Ones with no owner are the pre-configured. You can also access insights via the global search menu. And of course, there we can decide to launch or manage the bandwidth hogs. And from within an insight, you'll see the panel on the left will show you every insight available. Now, in case you're wondering, the HD next to a number of these insights does indeed stand for high definition, and refers to the data for those pages being the highest resolution data that AppResponse can maintain. Moving on to accessing Navigator pages and favorites. You can access those, of course, from the menu bar dropdown. The recent favorites will be on the right. Your created favorites will be available either by selecting Manage Favorites. So all the favorites that have been configured are seen under there, or you can also access them via the global search if you know their name. San Francisco clients, for instance, pops right up. So with Navigator, you end up creating the data layout that you're most interested in. In this case, for this particular office, they've decided to include perspectives of the network throughput, or network load, if you will, the network latency, failed connections, and then a response time composition chart below that. The rest of the navigators are available under Groups. You'll notice that the groups here align with the additional AppResponse modules you can use to expand the analysis capabilities. Should you have some of those modules, you can then go in here and start leveraging Navigator to build the custom views that you're interested in. And finally, let's view how to change your home page. Under Administration, down under User Preferences, on the left, we'll see the Default Insight panel. But you'll see this All Traffic is the default here. An example of why we might want to change the home page. Let's say we've been getting complaints from the San Francisco office, and I've already built a San Francisco office insight, and I'd like to keep that insight close at hand for now. And while we're here, let's cover the theme, the light theme, because there is a dark theme. It's a nice change of pace. Slide down to the bottom, hit Apply. There is the dark theme. And when we hit Home, our home page is now the San Francisco host group that we had requested. Thank you very much for your time. We've explored the AppResponse user interface, and we've investigated its main UI characteristics.